If you've always felt weighed down by effort, finding that the more you strive, the more life pushes back. And if chasing love, success, or purpose has left you feeling emptier than before, it's not a sign of being broken. Perhaps you've been labeled lazy while your spirit is simply weary from navigating a world that often feels illogical. Feeling like an outsider in a society obsessed with constant striving and achievement, while a deeper part of you yearns for simple being, isn't a flaw. It's a recognition that true peace isn't found in control, that alignment holds more power than forced effort, and that the path forward often reveals itself when you cease trying to force it open. You are not failing. You are learning to trust a profound truth that many spend lifetimes trying to overcome, the backward law that grants freedom when you stop chasing and start allowing. In the quiet moments between your struggles, you may have glimpsed this truth, that sometimes, the harder you push against life's door, the more tightly it seals shut. This isn't mere coincidence or bad luck. It's a fundamental principle woven into the fabric of existence that the wisest souls throughout history have observed and documented. The Taoists called it wu-wei. Christians described it as letting go and letting God. Buddhists refer to it as non-attachment, and modern psychologists term it paradoxical intention. Those persistent feelings of swimming upstream, while everyone else seems to flow with the current, aren't evidence of your inadequacy. They're your soul's recognition of a deeper reality that much of modern society has forgotten. The exhaustion you feel isn't from lack of effort, but perhaps from too much effort directed against your natural rhythm. When did we collectively decide that value comes only through strain and struggle? This cultural belief has created generations of burned-out individuals desperately pushing harder while feeling increasingly disconnected from what truly matters. Consider the times when your greatest insights or most meaningful connections appeared not when you were frantically searching, but in moments of rest, play, or surrender. Remember when solutions emerged after you stopped obsessing over a problem, or when love found you during a period when you had finally made peace with being alone. These weren't accidents but glimpses of the backward law in action, the counterintuitive truth that sometimes moving away from what you seek brings it closer than any direct pursuit could. The anxiety that haunts you when facing important goals, that tight chest, racing mind, and constant feeling of not doing enough isn't the fuel for achievement that our culture portrays it to be. Instead, it's often the very obstacle preventing your natural talents and intuitive wisdom from emerging. The pressure you place upon yourself creates a noise that drowns out the quiet voice of your deeper knowing. What if your struggles aren't signs of weakness, but indications that you're approaching life from a fundamentally flawed paradigm? What if ease, not effort, is the path to your greatest contributions? Throughout history, certain individuals have discovered this secret, that when they released their white-knuckled grip on outcomes and instead pursued their path with a combination of intention and surrender, doors opened that no amount of forcing could budge. From artists who found their greatest expression in moments of flow, to scientists whose breakthroughs came during periods of relaxation. The evidence for this counterintuitive principle exists everywhere once you begin to recognize its patterns. Your feeling of being out of step with a world that glorifies hustle and grind isn't a character flaw. It's a whisper from your deeper wisdom. That part of you that yearns for being rather than constant doing isn't lazy. It's connected to an ancient understanding that effectiveness flows from alignment, not from effort alone. The most profound achievements throughout human history have come not from those who strained hardest, but from those who found the perfect balance between directed intention and open receptivity. How can you achieve your deepest desires when conventional wisdom emphasizes relentless striving? Ancient texts, mystical traditions, and modern psychology reveal a paradox. The harder you try, the more you might push away what you seek, the paradox of effort, a key to understanding the backward law. Intense desire can create an emotional charge filled with anxiety, fear of failure, and impatience. Psychologically, this obsession with a specific outcome leads to performance anxiety, clouding judgment and hindering intuition. As Alan Watts observed, directly pursuing happiness often leads to misery, and chasing relaxation creates tension. True success often arises not from forcing, but from letting go and allowing. This principle resonates with ancient Buddhist teachings, where intense striving for enlightenment is seen as a barrier. A secret sutra suggests that the mind that seeks is the mind that is blind. Spiritual awakening, like many achievements, occurs when striving dissolves into pure presence. The effort to get there creates an illusion of distance when everything is already here. Modern psychology echoes this with the concept of cognitive dissonance, where the conflict between strong desire and fear of not attaining it consumes mental energy, leading to exhaustion and self-sabotage. The very act of grasping too tightly can cause the desired outcome to slip away. Spiritually, the law of energy resistance suggests that the universe mirrors back the frequency you emit. Desperation and clinging attract more of the same. It's not about unworthiness, but about the vibration of lack. Ancient Essenes taught that desire fueled by personal will consumes clarity, while desire tempered by trust and patience becomes a magnetic attraction. He who drinks from the cup of striving shall thirst forever. He who waits upon the waters of life shall find his thirst quenched before he asks. Thus, excessive effort and attachment create blockages, not blessings. Masters of old flowed with life, achieving greatness through grace, patience, and inner stillness. In our driven world, the wisdom of effortless alignment is crucial. The first key to the backward law is simple: the less you grasp, the more you are given; the less you force, the more you flow; the less you try, the more you achieve. Wu Wei, or effortless action, involves acting without unnecessary strain, with a clear mind and open heart, like a bird flying or a tree growing. It's about the action happening through you, not by you. Ancient Taoists likened it to water, which overcomes obstacles through yielding and flexibility. A secret text advises, "The wise man moves with the current, not against it. His strength is in his yielding. His triumph is in his humility." This principle finds a scientific counterpart in the neuroscience of flow state, a mental state of energized focus and deep enjoyment. In flow, neurochemicals enhance creativity and performance. Athletes and artists often report their greatest achievements occurring when they were in the zone, where effort felt minimal. Flow arises naturally with clear goals, immediate feedback, and a balance between skill and challenge. Effortless action, as the Tao Te Ching states, allows that, when nothing is done, nothing is left undone, meaning that by ceasing to fight life and trusting its unfolding, the right actions emerge naturally. The second key to mastering the backward law is entering the flow of life by acting without forcing. You achieve more by doing less, move further by standing still, and win by surrendering. Why does intense desire often lead to the opposite of what we want? The law of reversed effort, articulated by Emile Coe and others, states that the harder you consciously try, the less likely you are to succeed, especially with emotions involved. The conscious mind uses willpower, but the subconscious mind responds to imagery, belief, and feeling. When conscious will clashes with subconscious doubt, an inner battle ensues. Trying to relax can produce tension, trying to sleep can cause wakefulness, and trying to be confident can trigger insecurity. The subconscious interprets the effort as proof that the desired state is absent. As Rumi said, "Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life through you." This law explains why many spiritual practices emphasize letting go and surrender. The moment you stop demanding from life, you create space for it to offer gifts. Releasing your tight grip allows life to carry you beyond your expectations. The third key to the backward law is releasing desperate desire to remove inner opposition. Letting go of the fight creates space for fulfillment to arise naturally, and ceasing to struggle allows you to step into your greatest power. At the core of mystical teachings lies surrender, not as weakness but as the highest intelligence, the merging of the individual soul with universal intelligence. When disconnected from this intelligence, life feels like struggle. Through surrender, the release of control, we align with the deeper flow of existence. The Bhagavad Gita teaches renouncing attachment to outcomes, while Himalayan masters taught surrender to the Supreme Being, releasing fear and ambition to become a vessel of grace. Modern psychology echoes this in radical acceptance. Surrender opens the door to unexpected blessings. As Meister Eckhart said, the soul must surrender itself entirely to God, and then it becomes God. Surrender is a metaphysical law that moves you from ego to infinite consciousness, from fear to inspiration. True power lies in union with the source. When surrender is complete, life begins to cooperate. The fourth great key to the backward law is surrendering your small will to the greater will, unlocking a field of intelligence and power beyond your imagination. Giving up the illusion of control allows you to live a life of grace and fulfillment. Finally, beyond striving and surrender lies non-resistance, a state of being where struggle ends and life becomes an ally. Resistance is the inner no to what is, born of the ego's illusion. Non-resistance is powerful, allowing, meeting the moment without grasping or pushing away, trusting in a higher order. Zen masters called this mushin, the mind without friction. Julian of Norwich saw a deeper harmony beneath suffering, stating, "All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." Non-resistance means acting from clarity, not compulsion. Esoteric traditions taught that only a soul free from resistance could channel higher forces. Quantum physics suggests the observer shapes reality. Resistance breeds chaos. Acceptance brings coherence. Through non-resistance, you stop battling life and become its co-creator. Life begins to flow not because it changed, but because you did. The final key to the backward law is embracing non-resistance, allowing life to unfold without inner conflict, and becoming a conscious participant in its natural harmony.